Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Richard, and if you're new here, basically this is where we talk about my week. We start the conversation off with a question of the week / discussion, and if you would like to respond, you can. We'll read it in the next video. Then we like to talk about Lego. We like to talk about video games, what we picked up this week, and then maybe talk about some Carolina Panthers and family. So if you're into that kind of stuff, stay tuned and let's have a good time. So we're going to start off with responses from last week's question, which was, what was the craziest thing that you saw in like elementary school? I think is what the question was. And our first reply is from Builder Buds. He said, I didn't see it, but I heard a kid getting whipped with a paddle. We were lined up ready to go to lunch, and we went by a classroom where a kid was getting his butt beat by the principal. I remember hearing the sound of the paddle hitting the kid and the kid screaming his head off. Unbelievable that was something that could actually happen not all that long ago. Dude, for real, bro. I remember in elementary school, there was this kid named William, and it was like, I think it was like kindergarten, like almost every other day that kid got sent to the principal. And I think the rule was he could call your parents and ask them if he could spank them or not. I think that was like legit thing, and he got paddled all the time. It was nuts. Yeah, pretty crazy. All right, next one is from Austin, my cousin. He said, crazy thing that happened in elementary school. I do remember in 4th grade we had a bunch of those little blocks, like Jenga blocks, but I think they were called something else. We made a tower with them that went like an inch away from the ceiling before it fell. And I remember on the way to the playground in the woods, there was an abandoned, broken down car you could see in front of the pathway. We would look at it every day. Sorry, I can't read, Austin. We would look at it every day too, and from the playground. I had no idea why it was there. We just never asked about it, but it was cool. Good times. Dude, I feel you on that. We used to have this thing growing up at Red Bank Elementary School. That's where I went. We had this thing called ward, where basically, I don't know if y'all ever had ward, but it was like a rectangle in a part of the playground, and it was a yellow rope, and the whole time while everybody was playing, you had to walk around it until recess was over. That was like your punishment. And like there was a fence, and there was like just woods, and like anytime I ever got warped, I would always be like, yo bro, I could just make a break for it, get out of there, run into the woods and make it home. And I actually had a good friend named Corey who actually one day after recess, instead of coming back in, he actually ran away and got back to his house. And he wound up getting in a lot of trouble for it. But we were just like, whoa, Corey, dude, you did it, man. You made it. And yeah, that was pretty awesome. So, awesome responses, guys. That was a lot of fun. So, moving on to the question of this episode. I haven't got one yet, and so I'm going to come up with one on the spot like I do every episode. So, let's talk about sleepovers growing up. Just spending the night with your best friend, getting off Friday at school, running, getting off the bus, heading to your best friend's house, playing video games, eating snacks, and then that awesome question of, dude, you ask your mom, see if I can't spend the night. And then it would be like, no, dude, no. You ask my mom, because she'll say no to me, but she'll say yes to you. That was literally the routine that we would do almost every Friday night. And it was either my best friend Dane at the time, or my best friend Nathan, or my best friend Blake. Those were my 3 best friends growing up around that time or whatever. I had more best friends later on, I'm just saying. You can have more than one best friend, but that was always the thing. And I'd say like 60% of the time it works, especially if you got your buddy to ask, because, it's hard for them to say no to their friend unless you like really did something dumb earlier that week and your parents were like, no, I'm still mad about that. But dude, is it slumber parties or is it spend the night? We call it spend the night, but spending the night at your friend's house was so awesome growing up. I remember when I was spending the night at Dane's house, his dad worked at Michelin, and his mom, she had a good paying job. So like he always had the newest video game system. He always had the best snacks, and like I'd stay the night and we would play GameCube all the time and then play Lego. He had this giant bin of Lego, And that was like be the first thing we'd do. We'd dump it, and then we'd spend like most of the day just building stuff, and then we'd grab 2 dustpans before bed and be scooping up Lego and putting it back in the bin. That was like, I just remember that, doing that so much. And then we'd play GameCube, and the games we would always play would either be like Dark Alliance or it would be Super Smash Bros, which I hated playing Super Smash Bros. I freaking hated it. I always lost. I didn't grow up with video games, so like, and what I did have, you know, I got later on in life, but I was always player 2, and I always got my butt whooped. And then we also would play a lot of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. That was like mine and Dane's like favorite GameCube game to play. You know, awesome times. And then like you'd have those, you know, you'd spend the night at Nathan's house, and Nathan's house, like his parents were like healthy, so like they never really had any good like health like junk food. So like you were eating always like crackers or, you know, fruit. And like his mom would make sweet tea, and like Nathan swore that his mom made the best sweet tea, and like not hating on his mom or anything, but like there was barely any sugar in it. Felt like he was just drinking tea. And then like I just remember the day him spending the night at my house for the first time, and him trying my mom's sweet tea and going, "Holy crap, this is the best sweet tea I've ever had." And yeah, so, and then spending the night at Blake's, it was kind of similar to like Dane. So like with Dane, like Blake, he was the only child, and his mom and dad had good paying jobs, so like he got everything. I mean, he had more stuff than Dane did, also for him being the only child. So like he had the GameCube, but instead of just having normal GameCube controllers, Blake had like 4 Wavebirds, and I don't know if you remember what Wavebirds were, but they were the wireless GameCube controllers that were dope. Probably like my favorite controller ever, and they're super expensive now. Wish I still had mine, but yeah. And like his parents would, every time he spent the night at Blake's house, his parents would be like, "All right, let's go out to eat." Literally every time he went to Blake's house, his parents would always take us out to eat, and like they'd pay for it. And I would always feel bad because I'd be like, "Oh, I don't have any money." And they're like, "Oh no, don't worry." And like sometimes we go watch movies afterwards. Like it was Blake's parents, to this day, I still love them. I call them mom and dad. Basically all my best friends' parents, I call them mom and dad. The same thing with my parents for them. Just that bond we all have. And I mean, they took care of like all of Blake's friends, aka me, Nathan, Blake, Dane, all of us. So it was awesome. I miss spending the night. That was some of the best times ever. And I remember getting into high school and meet my best friend Edward. That was a totally different experience. His parents, not like hating on him or anything, but his parents weren't together anymore. So like I think his dad still stayed at the house every once in a while, and his mom was, I think she had her own shindig or something. But like he was always left home alone. So like all our buddies would spend the night at Ed's house during like even on high school nights or whatever, and then just go swim in his pool, play video games, party. Not like party like you think, like alcohol and everything, but like just inviting friends over and playing Guitar Hero on Xbox 360 or playing like Mario Kart, swimming, going places like the Waffle House at night. Those are just some of the best times ever. And I mean, good times, you know. So in the comments below, leave down, you know, some of your experiences spending the night, you know, some of your best friends and some of the things y'all did. Would love to hear about and discuss about in the next episode. That'd be awesome. So yeah, question, you know, how were sleepovers for you guys growing up? Were they awesome like mine? Or do you have very good memories? So yeah, leave a comment down below. Alright, moving on to Lego. So if you guys don't know, this channel, I love Lego. I don't love it like amazing, but I love it. I have a lot of hobbies, I mean, to be honest with you, but Lego is one of them. And Lego, I just saw a bunch of new sets for like Marvel. Literally, I'm super pumped for the Miles Morales and the Morbius set. I think it's like $20, but it's like a little car. It's like spider car and like has Morbius. So I'm super pumped for the Morbius minifigure. I want that really badly. I'm also super excited about the Rivendell. Not Rivendell. Riverdale. Rivendell? It's Rivendell. Gosh, man. It's Rivendell. Apparently there's this giant Lord of the Rings set coming out that's like $500 that's called Rivendell. And it's basically Rivendell, and I'm curious to see what those minifigures are. I'm not going to buy it, but, you know, Maybe I'll try to see if I can't get a couple of those, if they're cool minifigures off of Bricklink eventually one day, maybe. That would be pretty awesome. I saw some other stuff come out. I think the Indiana Jones stuff is coming out. Super pumped. Brickheads, I'm super excited because they're coming out with Lord of the Rings Brickheads. I really want I think it's Frodo and Gollum Brickhead. That one sounds really cool. And there is some other Lego set I'm looking forward to. Oh yeah, apparently Jurassic Park is doing the one with, I don't know if you can see it up here, but the Barbasol can, where the dude who plays Newman from Steinfeld, he's on, I forget his name, but he's in Jurassic Park, but he's like running away with this Barbasol can full of like genetic stuff or something for dinosaurs. And there's this iconic scene where he's like stuck and like attacked by this one dinosaur, and apparently it's gonna be a $20 set. Super pumped for it. I'm definitely getting that. That's gonna be awesome. So, you know, if there's any Lego sets you're looking forward to, you know, leave a comment down below. We'll talk about it. All right, moving on to pickups. I ordered 3 cards. For those of you who don't know, I like trading cards, you know, especially like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon. Not really into like football, basketball, or anything, but you know, I would like to get a Christian McCaffrey rookie card or like a Steve Smith Sr. rookie card. That would be dope. But picked up Hitmonlee Fossil. It's the hollow. It's a pretty sweet card. I like it a lot. I have the rare. I think it's a rare, like a normal rare card. This is the hollow. One of the cards I've been wanting. I ordered 2 other cards. They still haven't came in. They are marked as delivered, but apparently what's going on is like the mailing place is saying that they're delivered, but they haven't delivered it yet because apparently all my neighbors are dealing with that crap too. So it's frustrating. So I'm waiting for my other 2 cards to come in. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card and a Digimon card, you know. But moving right along. My last pickup, I didn't pick up much. I didn't pick up any Lego or anything. But I picked this up yesterday for like 50 cents at Goodwill. But Pokemon I Choose You. And I remember seeing this at the Scholastic Book Fair, you know. And, you know, it's cool. It's got all the Pokemon back. It's a chapter book. It says, Pokemon I Choose You. Will Pikachu Ever Trust Ash? And it's just like a chapter book. So, like, the first episode. And up there on my top shelf, I think I have the VHS of, like, him meeting Pikachu, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah. Hopefully, Noah will want to read this with me. Noah's my son. And, yeah, I just had to pick it up. You can't beat 50 Cent. It's really cool. So, that's all I picked up this week. And then we're going to move right along into games and entertainment. So, we'll start off with the video games I've been playing. Just beat Modern Warfare 3 for Call of Duty. To be honest with you, I felt like I was rushed in this game. It felt like there would be a decent level where you would enjoy it, and then it was just like, okay, next level, go save the president, the vice president's daughter, and it's like on a time limit, so you can't like take your time, you know, and shooting the bad guys, finding the cool weapon that you want to switch to, you know, kind of exploring. And just enjoying it that way. That's how I like my first-person shooters. I like to take my time, look for other ways. But, you know, when you got a time limit and you're like, oh, I gotta go find this chick. And then it'd be like, okay, you have to save the vice president, or, you know, the bad guy's escaping, find him. And what I can't stand in video games is, like, you have to protect somebody. And, like, those are the hardest levels. And there was a couple of those where it was like, you have to protect. Thankfully, they weren't super hard. I got through them. But all in all, this game was okay. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't as good as Black Ops, in my opinion, for the Wii. Like, Black Ops, I still will go through the levels and pick out a level I really liked and play through it. This one, there's only like 2 or 3 out of all the levels that I like, you know. So, Modern Warfare 3, decent game. If you can get it for less than $10, I think you got a deal. I actually watched something. I actually watched it before filming this. My wife has watched the whole series, but then she wanted to watch it with me. But I think it's called Wednesday, but it's the Addams Family little girl, Wednesday. She has a show on Netflix. Watch the first episode. It's actually pretty good. I liked it. You know, it's basically her just basically being transferred to a school of, like, kids that are like her. So it's got, like, kids who I guess are, like, have not issues, but are like werewolves and stuff, all this other stuff. And she fits in, but she's trying to escape, kind of doing blah, blah, blah. Decent first episode. I enjoyed it. I definitely kind of want to watch, you know, another one. But yeah, that's all entertainment-wise that I've been watching and playing. Nothing too crazy. I guess we'll move right along to Carolina Panthers. So, Carolina Panthers, Sam Darnold played for the first time this year last week. And I'll have you say, he played against one of the top 3 defenses in the league, the Broncos. Now, granted, Broncos offense is terrible, but Sam did good. I mean, he did what you wanted him to do. He handed the ball off to the running backs and then took what the defense was giving him, which is what Sam Darnold's good at. Matt Rule and everybody has him throwing 50 times a game. He only threw 19 times in that game. No interceptions. Some beautiful balls were thrown, I will say that, to DJ Moore. Sam looked efficient. I mean, that's where Sam thrives. So, super pumped for Sam. I hope, to be honest with you, I really hope he wins out this season, especially being a Panthers fan. But I would like to see him win out and then make it to the playoffs and stay in Carolina. I like Sam Darnold. I think he's a good quarterback. He just hasn't been behind the right system, and I think he fits perfect in what Steve Wilkes, the interim head coach for the Carolina Panthers, is trying to run. Defense, of course, destroyed Russell Wilson. Defense looked amazing. Brian Burns finally in the double-digit sack number, which is awesome. So, super excited about that. Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, Derek Brown, what's my guy's name? Dude, I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. But he's been amazing. What is his name? Frankie Louvu from last year getting brought up to like being a starter this year. Amazing. I think he's like one of the best things of this team. But yeah, super excited for the future, whether if we win or lose. I'm hoping Steve Wilkes gets the job. I'd love to see Sam Darnold stick with the job, and that way Matt Corral, the quarterback we drafted in this draft, can actually, not be a waste of a draft pick and floating through the league, as in like he could stick behind Sam Darnold, and if Sam Darnold doesn't play out, finally Matt Corral gets his chance because he got injured this year. So that's why he's not playing. But super excited. It's our bye week, so no game this week, which is kind of nice. It gives me a chance to like catch my breath. But we play, I think, the Seahawks on the road. So we'll be playing at the Seahawks. So we'll see how that goes. Sam Darnold, hopefully you pull it off and we get our first road win. That would be awesome. All right. Last topic, Noah Mincy, a.k.a. Little Family. It's great. We got our dog. Noah and the dog are crazy. They fight each other, but it's not a bad fight. They're having a good time. Noah, he hasn't really been into Lego lately. It's been kind of bumming me out. But, I understand. He's a kid. He wants to go outside. He wants to play. He wants to go do other things. He doesn't really want to sit on the ground and play Legos with Dad all the time, which I do miss. But, I'm hoping when he gets a little bit older, he'll want to get back into it. But right now, he just, every time I ask him, hey, you want to go in the game room? You want to play some Legos? Maybe build some stuff? He's like, not really feeling it, Dad. I'd rather, watch YouTube or go outside and swing on the swing. Or go to his game room. So, for those of you who don't know, I redid my game room. I moved my shelves and everything, and as you can tell, it's a lot different setup. I'm not sitting on the floor. I'm actually sitting at a table talking to you guys this time. Fun fact. Well, Noah got super excited seeing me move all my stuff around that he went into his room and started literally moving all his stuff around. He kept telling me, hey, Dad, you want to come see my game room? I'd be like, sure. Go walk in there. He had moved a toy. I'm like, oh, that's cool, dude. 10 seconds later, hey, Dad, you want to come see my game room again? Like, he was like that for a couple days. But and he was proud. He'd be like, hey, come hang out in my game room with me. It was cool to see that. And it's cool to know that my son, is, not following in my footsteps. But, how would you say, he wants to be like Dad, I feel like. And it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling. Other good news, we got our Christmas bonus this year from work. So be getting that next week and be able to get some Christmas gifts and spoil the boy for Christmas. Excited, get some wife some stuff, even though she just got a puppy. But, I'm going to get her some stuff because I love her. And, excited for the holidays. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, the question is, do you remember going and sleeping over at your friend's house as a kid? And, what all, fun stuff did y'all do? Leave a comment down below about it. We'll talk about it. I'll talk about it on the show, and it'll be a good time. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. And as the Panthers say, keep pounding. That was a weird, Richard. Sorry.